Okay, so it's a week before I graduate from college, so I think it's time to revamp this channel. And I figured the best way to do that is a movie review because that is something that I want to do more often on this channel. So the Batman came out this weekend, and I went to see it a few days ago, and I've had my thoughts going the last couple days. I think this is a great film. It's not my favorite Batman movie. Personally, my favorite is Batman Returns, um, but this is number two out of all the Batman movies. Um, I know a lot of people really like The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight is not one of my favorites. It's not my top three Batman movies, but I still like it, and I understand everyone who does. And I think this film, The Batman, just takes a more realistic approach, even more realistic than The Dark Knight, I think. Um, not to compare the two because they are two very different films. Um, so I think starting with what was really apparent to me in the beginning about how different this film was going to be was the beginning. Uh, the opening scene and even like really the first like 10 minutes is you really get a feel for Gotham and the characters and what it is to be uh, a criminal in Gotham, waiting for the Batman. I thought that was really well done and had not been seen in a Batman film before. And it finally gave me that, like, yes, like, this is exactly what I wanted from a Batman movie that I haven't gotten. I think everybody in this film really does a great job. I don't think there was anyone miscast or anything. I think everyone was perfectly cast for their roles, and that's not something I could say for every film. And even for some films, it's like, oh, they're a great actor, but they're not good for this role. I can't say this about this film. This film, everybody, I think, did a great job. Um, Standout personally for me was Colin Farrell as the Penguin. Um, and I'm sure you've heard it before, but you don't even recognize him. It's like sitting there, like I know it's him, but it doesn't even look like him and it doesn't sound like him. I thought that this version of the Penguin was a delight. I'd say that would be my one standout. Um, but getting to, I guess, main characters being Robert Pattinson as Batman and Paul Dano as the Riddler, uh, both great choices. And as someone who loves Twilight, I was very excited to hear that Robert Pattinson was going to be Batman. Of course, he's done other great stuff as well that I've seen. And he actually, you know what? He's a very convincing Batman and Bruce Wayne, which is really one and the same in this film, which I thought was a good choice. I appreciated the difference. Um, and Paul Dano as the Riddler is kind of a different Riddler, is a more serial killer um, type, and he was, at times he was scary, especially in the opening scene. It was kind of like the opening of like a horror film, and I thought that was really great. There was only one thing I think about this film that I didn't like, and I'm not gonna get into any spoilers, but if you've seen the movie, you probably know what scene it is. There's a certain somebody that shows up very briefly, and it feels a little out of place. Now, the actor that they got to play this character, I like, and I think will do good in the role if they return in a sequel or something. But I really feel like that was the only scene that I had a problem with. Even I've heard a lot of criticism about the third act, and for me, the third act actually worked for me. Again, it was different. There were a lot of things in this movie that were different, like especially with the Waynes, Bruce's parents, and how they were not maybe so great people that we're used to in other Batman iterations. And I thought that was a not only an interesting choice, but it's finally like doing something new, something different, trying it out. And this film is close to 3 hours, and I really loved every minute of it. I mean, there are a lot of great scenes, and a lot. Matt Reeves really knows, and I've always been a fan of him since Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I really liked his two Planet of the Apes films. And even going back to Cloverfield, which is a nice film for the found footage genre. I'm really looking forward to see where he takes the characters next and who he's going to choose as the villain. I've heard some things about maybe Mr. Freeze, I don't know. But to even take a character like that and see how grounded he can get with them, I think would be really interesting in this world. As every superhero or comic book movie can be hit or miss. This film, for me, I gave a 4.5 out of 5. And it was near perfect, other than that one scene I think was the only thing I didn't like. So anyway, let me know what you all thought about the Batman in the comments, and more videos will be coming soon, I promise. I'm gonna be getting home soon. I have my equipment. I got a lot more stuff coming, so stay tuned.